Skid it. There you go. Now we're rocking. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 82 of the I Say That to Say This podcast. I hope that was right. Episode 82. For those of us in Florida. Hello, Lens. Welcome, everyone. Our YouTube viewership, our Spotify listenership, those listening on the podcast app, those of you at work, those of you doing overnight security. Legendary with your host, King Bo Christ. And your other host, the real Mrs. McCrimmon. Let's kick this thing off. Welcome to the official Killer Mike trigger warning episode. I don't think you're going to be triggered by anything we say. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
What did you think over... Oh, yeah, you might be triggered, actually. My real friend, Lenny. What did you think of Killer Mike? I like making good use of these, my bad, these Netflix binges. Like now I'm like, all right, I get to get my shit off. Like,
I mean,
that's funny. Like,
it took a whole another twist. But like we talked about, like if you enjoy something, why don't you just do that to make money? You know,
sure.
like why don't you do that for work? Why don't you do that for business? Why don't you do that for like?
Absolutely. I think we're gonna get into that on the.
So we like Netflix, so we're gonna talk about it now.
We might as well. So what we did with the official Killer Mike trigger warning episode is we'll just go section by section. So first off,
I liked it from the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
I liked it right at the beginning. I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good.
Living Black,
mm-hmm.
Killer Mike. And those of you who haven't saw this, the title should have showed you this is spoiler alert, so we're just gonna go through it. I mean, that's what's different about the world and reviews, and you're still gonna watch it anyway. Like, I actually find myself watching less of trailers because I'm like, fucking trailers give away the whole movie because people like like if you give away certain key points when you get to it in the movie,
then
you know what time it is. Right? Like if it's fucking Finding Lindsay. And after a 2-minute trailer, a train opens up and he's like, you obviously know at some point in the movie he finds it. Like,
right.
So, I mean, but I think, I don't know, our take on it. I like doing it because I hope I make you go see it. Like, if some shit's trash, I'll let you know. From the very beginning, I won't waste your time. Like, the good shit, good.
I think it's not even just about the...
And featuring Boca.
Yeah, because she's just...
legendary.
Yelling about...
She's trying to get... I respect you getting your shit off. Like, if you're like, yo, I know they're going upstairs at a weird time to do this episode. I think I can get my shit off. Like, I respect the bark. Like, she could be like, yo, shout out to everybody back in Florida, home team. What's really... Killer Mike, I see you living black. We living half black on this side. We doing the damn thing. Like, if she's getting her shit off, I totally respect it. Like, I'm not even mad.
Okay, well... in that case, like, it makes it funny.
She's a crazy bitch.
She's a crazy bitch.
She is a crazy bitch.
That's what she was looking for. Oh. You was right, Boca. You was right. Living Black.
Yeah. I think it was really cool when he was, like, doing that part of it. I mean, it was funny.
Killer Mike decided that he was only going to purchase products that were made, produced, farmed,
like
middleman touched everything by black people, like right, black owned,
whatever.
Not right, like not you work there, black owned. So from the very beginning, like as it opens up, he lets you know, like I'm about to take this walk down here because I can't drive my triple black Dodge Challenger.
Can't find any car.
Right. I can't find my Dodge Challenger I mean, I can't drive my Dodge Challenger. Damn, so gotta. You know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, like, I'm curious to know what he had on his feet. Like, hold on, bro. Was you wearing Nikes? Like, I wonder now.
Like,
so, but like,
yeah.
right. No, I think he was definitely wearing his
think-
clothing. I believe. If I'm not, actually, I don't want to say
Sure, for sure.
definitely.
I
I can't say
don't
definitely.
can't.
Say almost. So I.
like he's got boxers and
Right.
socks and.
But so I think I'm
shoes
gonna give him the benefit of the doubt
Okay.
for that.
and- Okay.
But
But I
So-
mean, like, he really went above and beyond.
right, 100%, 100%,
He was like,
100%.
oh, we found this barbecue
Right.
spot, and it's
And
black
Killer Mike
owned.
likes to smoke a lot of weed. Killer Mike is definitely welcomed to the podcast. And I said no features for the rest of forever. Killer Mike could definitely come to the podcast. Because Killer Mike definitely smokes a lot of pot, but he had to go cold turkey for, I believe maybe it was 72 hours, but I feel like it started at 60. Like, I feel like I noticed when the time flashed at 60 hours for
I
some
think it
reason.
just went real fast.
Sure.
Maybe
So, Killer Mike, maybe. Killer Mike, he couldn't get any weed. And as soon as he mentioned it, as soon as he's like, damn, I can't get any weed because my weed is not black grown, produced by black farmers. And I immediately thought about Wiz Khalifa and Nipsey Hussle. I was like, damn, I know they could have, but I guess you can't. And also Killer Mike's in Georgia. Obviously you can't ship him a package, but
Right.
so it's like, but you know,
But
these guys got tour buses. Something could have got where, like, I was like, damn, somebody could have bought him a sack. Like, like they're telling me nobody. Florida got, oh no, Florida's not green light enough. What's next to Killer Mike? What's close enough? Like DC, somebody in DC could have made that connection maybe. I don't know. Somebody, I feel like, I'm like, damn. But you know what? He was trying to. He was proving a point, though. He was proving a point that I'm naming fucking states like someone's got to drive 8 hours for
Right,
what. So
right.
that
Okay,
that does prove his point. Like, it wasn't no weed within. Because trust me, I'm sure he probably thought of that, and he was like, nah, we got to do this totally legit. We got to do this right. I got to be fair. So long story long, he doesn't have any weed, and he's like, damn, all right, I'm gonna go down. He's going through. Say his cell phone, his iPhone, like, you know what I'm saying. He went to, and I actually get the names of these companies.
He went to
the store he went, right? The
pharmacy, grocery store, whatever.
right, that was owned by the Muslim gentleman, black Muslim, and he was saying, like, if I knew that I can go to one place that had a one-stop shop, it would be here. So he went there. And they had a lot, and it was amazing to see. Was that where they had the cell phone, or that was a different? No, that was a different.
It was a different place.
But
he got beans, and they didn't get a can opener.
Right. Like,
that
so
was
he
so
got.
crazy.
He was like, "Wow, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with the beans. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna walk down to nowhere because there's no black-owned hotels.
Right.
So he had to sit on a park bench, pulls out his beans, and he's like, "Fuck, I don't have a." And it was things like that I was like, "Damn, it's like, I'm not gonna say it's, but you'd have to be really." I thought going vegan for 28 days was the hardest thing I could ever do.
But,
or giving up a cell phone is like, like
sleep.
Right. Like only buying from black businesses is like, damn, that would make your life impossible. And it was fucked up to see. So
yeah, like I wonder if he actually didn't. Like, I wonder if he actually slept there. If he actually
I believe he slept there. Like, I believe he kept it 100 because I know
didn't eat when it was sitting in front of him. Like
that too.
That was
when he went to get some food. He was fucking starving. He hadn't eaten. He just seen his I forget the other guy's name. Also, we gotta get. I'm doing terrible.
You can. It'll be on the screen.
True. Shout out to our YouTube viewership. But listen, Spotify, work with me. But he went to see his mans, who was an ally. I know he's an ally. Is it LJ? Damn, I'm fucking it up. I'm trying to read and talk and think at the same time. But
yeah, I don't remember.
he went to see his mans. They went to get. He was like, I'm fucking starving. I hadn't eaten. So he took him down to the local spot, which I guess people said were good. He orders the greens and the mac and cheese barbecue spot, gets the food right in front of his face, and then says, "Oh shit!"
His friend was like, "Wonder where this shit was grown."
Oh right. That's what. And he was like, "Damn!" Right.
And he was like, "Oh no."
So, so he was just like, damn, like, could it get any worse?
Right.
And you know what? It didn't really get worse from there, which was good.
I feel like that was like the most, that to me, I love to eat, and I can tell he loves to eat way more than I love to eat.
Right.
And I know that I would have been like, all right, you can turn off the camera. I'm about to eat this shit.
Nah, Killer Mike is true to the game. Killer Mike is not a weak man. He's true to the game.
Wrap it up, bitch.
Yeah. Like, yo, but listen. We're not on Survivor here. Like, we're not on Survivor. You guys want me to die? It's part 1 of the 6-part series. I can't do this. I believe that Killer Mike stayed true to the game. I'm gonna give him that. But
I kind of hope that he like ate something.
So he.
I feel like he not
cashew or something, but he did, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but he did ultimately find. No, he did find
food. Oh yeah, the lady that cooked for him.
Right, the farm.
Oh, she was really.
Yeah, and I thought that was good, and that was good to see that they farm their own food,
right.
And it was like she cooked it, and it's all one system. Right. You don't got to go to a restaurant. You don't got to go down to Whole Foods. It's all right here in the yard. Everything. As long as we work together, we can get. It's cool. I like that people are still living like that.
Me too.
Especially, like
those are the people that are gonna survive.
Right. Right.
They're self-sufficient.
When you would think.
All these hippies.
They're behind.
Right.
They're not behind. They're actually ahead of the game. They're definitely ahead of the game. So he did ultimately find salvation. But what I wanted to jump to when he went to see the technology, to see that it was a black-owned, like, cell phone company was like. It wasn't, and to keep it
a different phone,
right? To keep it
like besides Motorola and Apple and fucking like that was what I was like, oh my god, there's another phone.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. To keep it 100, it wasn't even just because it was black. Like as an entrepreneur, like from the entrepreneurial aspect, what? I was like, oh, you could get your own line, like like you can, like oh, that's amazing. Like that's just cool to see.
Crazy.
Period.
Right.
Yeah, like
I
that.
I didn't realize there were still small companies. Like
sure.
That was really
like
good.
soap was cool.
That was great information.
Of course. That lets me know, like,
because I didn't even know that was possible.
You know what's crazy? And I didn't want to. I didn't want to totally go. I wanted to stay on topic with this, and I like where we're headed. But I gotta derail us for a moment because it's crazy you said that. And I'm gonna just jump right into it because I want to get back to Killer Mike because I got a lot of shit to get off. I gotta bring up King Draco. Soulja Boy smoking hot right now. He is, and I know that seems crazy. Slow down. I know that seems crazy, but it's because of exactly what we're talking about. Like I'm like, damn, Killer Mike, what he's saying, and I just happened to see it, and it went over my head. It wasn't. I would have never talked about it. But Soulja Boy producing his own video game was crazy to me. Like I was like, wow.
Oh, true.
I was like, yo, that's legendary.
Oh,
like your own video game is, and that's why I'm relating it to this because that's why my stance was the way it was all week. And you're like, I don't get it.
What?
You know why? But I'm gonna play two clips.
It's because like not hearing him speak, I'm like, wow, that is really cool.
Sure, I'm gonna play two clips. I'm gonna play two clips of Soulja Boy.
Wow.
And I'll get back to it. He was explaining. He was on Everyday Struggle, and I'm gonna get to Everyday Struggle, but that's where I'm going with. I say that to say this moment. I see why what Killer Mike is talking about, and I see like how it happens. I see how it dies at the root, because I wear Ralph Lauren for years. Like years. A lot of money spent in Ralph Lauren. If my friend has a clothing line, I should be like, more inclined to just buy one. Not just one shirt, though. Not like every new line, like, cop something.
Right.
You're going to wear it anyway, like, cop something.
Right.
But it's something about, as soon as, like, rappers or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or a show, or Joe Budden, or fucking Charlemagne, or whoever, be like, one, like, prominent figure be like, oh, that shit is trash. It's like, poof, it's over. It's gone. That, like, weed smoke. Go here now, we're having a good time. 20 minutes from now, we'll be back to square one. Like, I hate that. But this shows, like, everyday struggle, and this is why.
Big companies is a company, boom, a big company. A big company will place an order. It's 7 orders. It will be 7 different orders.
Granted,
so one order would be for 1,000 soldier consoles. One order would be for 10,000 soldier pods. One order would be for 3,000 soldier watches. And 7 different orders for companies that put the shit in their stores, bro. You see what I'm saying?
So you're not showing what customers bought. You're showing what you bought from somebody else.
No.
We're showing like wholesale, you saying like
It could be, so say, okay, check it out.
Okay.
Check it out, academics. We got the soldier game.
Is that the soldier watch?
Yes. No, this is the Apple Watch.
Oh, I was about to be like,
It's the Apple Watch. It's the Apple Watch.
Wait a minute.
This is the
How
Apple
the
Watch.
fuck are you gonna wear an Apple Watch when you have the Soldier Watch?
I can do whatever I want to do.
What kind of branding is this?
I can do whatever I
Alright,
want.
wait, let him break it. Let him break down
Alright,
the
sorry,
sales. I need to know the
we're
sales.
focused.
Alright,
Why you name it on the
down.
box? Why you name it on the box?
Like shit like that. Yo, why? And them like, did like the third degree if he tells you he got a game. But I'm gonna let
The
him.
first prototype is to cut me some slack. Like, I'm a black entrepreneur. Y'all love the Asians in Nintendo. Y'all love the white people at Microsoft. Y'all love the white people at PS4. Embrace the black community.
No, we support black
Academics.
business
I
here.
can bring you on board and you can even have a DJ Academics game. You Twitch your stream all day playing Fortnite and shit.
Hold on, but I'm not
Support
into
the black
scamming
community.
people, though.
It's
I
not
don't
a
And I'm a. He called it a
Yeah,
scam.
every game on here is licensed. It's 800 PS-Star games that are licensed. I sold $1 million in one day. Nintendo approached me.
Why would they approach
Come
you?
on, academics.
Why would they approach you?
Because they trying to see what the fuck going on. It's a young black kid just made $1 million within 24 hours.
You know
and our
why I heard
games
they
are on the
approach you?
consoles. We want in.
You know why I know they
Are you
approach you?
fucking retarded?
No, I'm not retarded. You know why I heard?
And I'm gonna stop it there. But it's shit like that. Like the third degree, like, oh, that shit must not be real. Like, how many did they buy and how many did they go? What's going? And I'm like, damn, everybody. And then, granted, Soulja Boy, I get it, but me included, all these motherfuckers involved has like a PS4 or Xbox and never even thought about it.
Right.
Xbox told you it was a go. You was like, all right, it's a go. Sony told you it was a go. All right, it's a go. Dreamcast came around, told you it was a go. All right, it's a go. Soulja Boy puts out a game and it's like, where'd you get this software from?
Right.
Like, can I play Fortnite? Like, but that's why it's shit we don't know about. Like, I'm
Right.
sure, like, why not? And I probably could have found it out before, but I just wasn't in my mind to look. But like, why do I have to wait for Killer Mike to say, oh, by the way, only and I guess that's his whole point of doing it. So it worked. It did get to me, but it's fucked up. Like Killer Mike has to say, like, oh, by the way, there's a
Right.
cell phone company here
Right.
in the heart of Georgia, owned by a guy who's like you and thinks like you.
Right.
You know, and it's not from fucking
Right. Not a big corporation.
not even a big
just some
corporation or not someone just
himself.
right. Just put it's a regular guy who's an
Right.
entrepreneur and he has a phone line. Like, I feel like it should be out there the same, you know, the same way. So it is
And it shouldn't be looked at negatively.
right because that's what fucks
Soulja
things
Boy's
up
just
early.
his
Right. It's
mouth,
Soulja Boy, so it's
His
Soulja Boy,
mouth
so it's
is where
different.
I
And
was
I
like, oh my god, dude, shut up.
and
But,
I'll
like,
play another. I'll play the
he's-
last.
I respect it. I respect it.
Right. Well,
Back to that life I used to live.
I'll play the last.
I'm just saying, sometimes when you do
I hope I come up with 5 more businesses.
businesses.
This nigga say, why the fuck he asking for money on Cash App? Nigga, I'm trying to give out my console to people who can't afford it.
No.
My nigga, I made the Soulja Watch $20 because Apple Watch charged $500 for the Apple Watch. I made it affordable. I made the Soulja game $100 so
Well, you
niggas
rocking
would buy it.
Apple Watch.
Yo, you tripping.
You rocking the Apple Watch, though, not the Soulja
You
Watch.
tripping. And I got the Soulja game right here, though, so fuck, you know what I'm saying? I got a rolling on too. You mismatched designer, my nigga. It is what it is. I'm not a young nigga that signed to a deal where you have to wear a product. I own this shit, so I can promote it if I want or not promote it. You see what I'm saying? You tripping. This shit right here costs $100. Everybody can't afford a $100 video game console. So I said, you know what? Just send me $1 on Cash App, and I'll pick you and send you a whole package for free.
That's
Worth for
like
$200, $300
Like,
shit. Cause, nigga, everybody can't afford that.
You've done the Cash App shit
crazy.
before. You've done the shit Cash
That's a
App.
bad idea.
And the crazy shit about it is, I really feel like
Keep it real, really and truly.
I don't feel like I should have to make him.
They hate on me because I'm rich. I look better.
I don't feel, and I know where you're going, but that's why I'll just get my shit off. I don't want to make him feel like he should have to come up there in a suit and tie and change who he is to be like, well, this is what I have to offer, and not be who he is. If this is how he is,
I agree. Right.
I gotta let him get his shit off because I'd be judging a book by its cover or whatever. You know, it's. I realize like that thought process is fucked up for me to be like, nah, I don't know, bro. You out here in a Gucci bandana, Gucci headband you've been wearing for 7 days with all your jewelry on, yelling.
He's probably
his game must
actually
be-
mad. He's like, "What the fuck, man?"
I legit would be
Like,
like, yo, what the
I
fuck?
get it
Like,
now, like-
you know why? Because if
I feel like I'm going crazy. I
But
feel
if
like
you-
I'm going crazy
in a
because he's
standard-
actually doing. But I don't think he promotes what he's doing. And I get he doesn't want to talk about it, but like,
But
you're
no,
in the spotlight.
that's his whole point, and that's where Killer Mike goes with it. Is like, yo, this shit is actually accessible,
right.
but you just gotta. And that's why I wanted to
You
keep
gotta
going,
look
but I just
for
wanted
it.
to. I wanted to. We'll get back to Soulja Boy. I'll go
Okay.
back to Killer Mike, but it was amazing to see that technology was being owned by one person and not big corporation.
Right.
It was cool. And
I thought it
and-
was cool he did the console anyway. Like,
Sure. And to move on in the documentary, part 2 was called Fuck School. Now this, and that's why I felt like it would be appropriate if we went in order, because that's also where I see the bubbles get popped, like inside the home. Like, and he went. Hearing Killer Mike's point of view about it, I'm like, nah, bro, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like to hear,
Yeah.
like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You ask a kid, and he's
You're
like, an
never gonna be
astronaut. What do you want to be? The president. Listen, and it says to respond to him like, you're never going to be that. I get what he was doing. He was saying like, learn how to fucking be a plumber.
right,
There's nothing wrong with being a plumber.
right.
You don't have to be an astronaut. You know, it's like, or own your own business, know how to build things, know how to sell, know how to what.
But
I get what he was doing.
He
Like,
just like slammed their
right.
dreams into the fucking ground. Like,
right. And I actually realized like later in my years when I talked to other men, black men my age, I realized like, oh, in a fucked up way, it's like, wow, I'm glad I grew up around everybody, around privileged people.
yeah,
Because I didn't know you could shoot. I only knew you could shoot high.
right.
Like what do you want to be? Astronaut, lawyer, judge, fireman, fucking, I don't know. Like, coming up, it was like, I guess if the kids in my class or whatever felt like, oh, I could be like Bill Gates, that energy was around.
Yeah.
That like, oh shit, it's lit.
Right.
Like, you know, like everyone's going like, it's lit. So in my head, even if I didn't, at some point I was like, I want to be a lawyer. And then I was like, school for 7 years. Oh, that's trash. I'll never do that. I couldn't, but I didn't, no one was home telling me like, my mindset was like, I got to get a good job. I got to score.
Right.
I had to learn on my own, like, create the job you want.
Right.
Like, learn on my own, but like figure out my life
Right,
process.
you have to live it. Yeah.
Right, you got to live like, actually, if you're going to go to work, if you're going to work, because working 40 hours a week, I had no problem. If I can make the money and you let me work doubles all week, then I'd be working 80 hours. Like, fuck it, I'll do it. You might as well. I figured out like at 26, like, oh yeah, you might as well just do this for yourself. You might as well put in 100 hours for yourself.
Right.
So the world is what it is today. In today's world, you could, like,
Do anything.
idea is as good as currency.
Right.
Like whatever you dream up, you can make happen.
And he's telling them like, you can't do it. Like,
Right. I feel like, damn, like this is the best time in the world to whatever weird shit you dream up. Like Elon Musk knew he wanted to go to space. So I'm not. And that's, I think, the process. I think that's where the conversation between parents and kids can go. It's like, look, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? An astronaut. Why do you want to be an astronaut? Because I want to go to the moon. Like, well, you don't necessarily have to become an astronaut to go to the. You know what I mean? Like, you could you could make the money from A to make the money from going to the moon could be like R. You could make the money from A, B, C, D, E.
right.
And keep going. Well, that's when I'm gonna stop because I'm drinking water. But that's when you fuck up the alphabet when you're recording. When you're recording live, like, wait, element, no, what is it? But no, seriously. So
I was thinking like he's
right.
keep going.
Right, I was talking to my. Did he say R? Like, is he gonna go to R? Like, that'd be crazy. Yeah. But you could take the money from whatever and make your dreams possible. It doesn't have to be overnight. Boom.
Right.
I was talking
It's
to my little
not
cousin.
overnight.
And he's like, I was like, what are you majoring in? And he's like, he was like, well, I'm changing my major and what? And you're like, okay, like I'm 30, bro. Just
Right. You don't have to
come out with
explain
it.
Just
Yeah,
say
it's
it.
come out. I'm not your pops.
What are you
Come out
going
with
to
it. What you
school
going to
for?
school for? He was, he's 17, excuse me.
Ugh.
So when he was saying it to me, I'm like, wow, that's why I was like, okay, this is exactly why. This is why I asked you, what are you going to school for? Because if I could give you this little thing now, maybe we'll talk about it later. I want you to think on it. When he was like, I was like, yo, what do you like doing? Playing video games, no? And he was like, yeah, actually. And I'm like, what are you gonna go to school for? A pussy desk job to be dying to get off work and play video games? I told him to buy whatever video game he likes. Look at the credits. Whatever job title you see above those names, like that's where you want to start searching. Like you need to look at the shit that
what you want to do.
What you want to do, and you're not gonna know that. Right, you're not always gonna know that at 27. No. I mean, excuse me, at 17. No. You might not know at 27. You might not know at 37. Right. You really might not know at 60. Like at 60, you may.
I feel like at that point you're just lying to yourself and you just do.
No, but I only say that because at 60 you could have been working for 40. Point. At 60, that's my point. That's why I say it doesn't really stop. Because at 60, you could have been working for 40 years. Yep. What do you really want to do? You want to sail around the world.
My mom, for example, she left a career that she was at for as long as I can remember.
Sure.
And she left and started at the bottom and got into dog grooming, and now she owns her own business.
Boom. That's that's why I say it doesn't have to. Don't. And I think that's where people get it fucked up. And because what you saw your parents do and whatever else, is that you feel like, all right, 35 and my life is just going to be what it's going to be. Or 25, you're like, oh well, been working here for 3 years, so I might as well stick it out.
There's a lot of people who own businesses later in life.
Sure. And so
I'm just competitive and I like to be first.
No, sure. Like, no, that's...
No, I've been owning...
No, that's really the game, though. But you knew, and you knew you didn't want to go to college. You were like, nah. Mm-mm. But not luckily, but you got into dog training.
And I was like, this is what I want to do.
You were like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Right, I could do this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it just happened to be, you figure it out, and then... Working for someone else you have the brain to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like
if I'm headed here every day, like like the clients are coming for me, like I should just do this for myself, like
and take like the percentage of difference is so insane, like it's out of this world. Like after working there a while, I was happy for a while, but then like it's a corporation, they don't care about you, they're all about $1 and they're looking at it so disconnected,
sure.
Like 10 levels away. Eventually they do something that it just shows they don't care about you, and then you're unhappy, and then but I don't know.
From there you was like, well, I'm out.
Yeah, like I'm making you how much money?
Yeah, right.
I'm bringing in how much money and you're taking 70%?
Sure.
What?
But that's and that's the whole point. We're saying all that to say you can't learn that. School doesn't always teach you that. What college and what I don't have many regrets, but I do have to say like the one little not that I do different, but it's like is not going away to college.
Yeah.
Because I always worked and went to school, and that helped me. I used to think it delayed the process. Like, shit, if I would have just been able to go to school full time, I would have been able.
Your brain can't handle
it would have just
much.
But it would just took me. I mean, school like not work.
Right. But that's
right.
A lot.
So it delayed whatever.
You had life experience.
Right, life experience taught me like, oh, okay. And so later, at the end of it, when you get the fucking expensive ass piece of paper in the mail, and you just look at it like, oh, okay. Well, that's how I felt. But college taught me, like structure of like problem solving. I didn't understand, and I think teachers have a big responsibility also more than ever now, more than ever. Because as a teacher, it was like, and I'm not. I was a fucking terrible student, but at no point did a teacher was like, you're never going to be anything. You're never going to, like, I never had that happen to me. You ain't going to be shit. I never had that happen to me. Like, no one ever, but I was still a fucking terrible student. And that's what, like, they were like, get it together. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, let me just come for the test. I swear. If you let me do it my way, I don't like this sitting here for 3 hours is trash. Like, even in high school, like 40 minutes, I'm like, bruh, this is crazy. Like, we don't have to, I don't learn like this. So that's when life taught me that. But teachers have to now be like, all right, I don't know,
I'm in agreement with you. On that.
Right.
I don't know what they're
like the
gonna do
funny ass
so-
math and everything just helped me like problem solve, and that's why with weird business, I just have the ability to reverse engineer things. Like, all right, what is you need?
Right.
How can I go about? Like, I feel like it just connected a lot of dots with
Right.
things, and it was more of talking to people and hearing college
Experience.
I swear, like the professors. Their story and what they did in their real life influenced me way more than anything else. If it coincided with their teaching style, their life, they were just like, yeah, whatever, and they were regular talk to us like people. I swear, if you my fucking I don't even know what you call. I can't even. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I guess not my report card. I'm drawing a fucking blank. But my grades would prove it.
Right.
Like if you match up professor style. I don't really get that many A's, but there's a B there that I could have gotten an A, but I was just like, all right, this is how college should be. But if you treat me like, all right, oh, you turned to page 72, like my brain like shuts off a switch. Like, nah, we're not. I don't operate like that. So yeah, we're not doing that. So again, we're a wild tangent, but when Killer Mike explained his way of learning. I mean, his way of teaching kids to. A elementary school principal, she was like, yeah, no, Killer Mike, that's absolutely insane, and you should let kids dream a little.
Right.
You should let kids.
Maybe you need to go to adults that don't know what they want to do. Like, they've lived life. They know the disappointments of life. You're not going to teach a 5-year-old the disappointments of life.
Sure, like that, right? But see, that happens in like college also, kind of like, nah, maybe college ain't for you.
Yeah.
And it could stray you, so it was good to see that there's still it's still the balance, but
yeah, that is good. But I think he was missing, like, all you need to do is give them more information. You don't have to take anything away. You just give them more information.
Sure.
Like,
And I don't think
they
he
should
was
do a lot different shit in
I think
school.
I think a lot of that was
Life
Netflix.
lessons.
I think a lot of that was Netflix facts. Like
Maybe.
I'm hoping it wouldn't just come out and be like, I did like the lesson on white privilege to the kid was hilarious, and I was like, oh,
And he was like,
yeah, he was like, you're not lying. Right. So but it was now that I was like, all right, it was a little like I feel like the kid didn't fucking comprehend it. So that's why I felt like it was Netflix facts.
Right.
But it was like, okay, now those are moments. I mean, that was a little dramatic.
yeah, not
right.
But he could have.
But those are moments.
No, you need to wait your turn.
But
And
those
then-
are moments when it's like, oh yeah, that is when shit happens. I don't, and it's not even the fact of like promoting white privilege, but like, oh yeah, that is when you raise an asshole kid that doesn't really listen to anybody's
exactly.
anybody's opinion, like, you know. And I always, that's why I always say, you don't find out if you're a good parent until your kids are 25, no, or like 30. I swear, like at 9, I don't know, like 4, all kids are like
They're
a
assholes.
bad. Yeah, I
They're
was
assholes. Kids are assholes.
right, and no
Like,
no
it's great,
no teacher
but they're-
now. That's
they
when
can
no
be
teacher ever
assholes.
said it to me, but I'm sure when I left after like their pep talk, like, come on, man, like
Yeah.
you're a smart. And that was my thing. Like if you calling me thinking, because now I grew up with the internet. Like I was low, texting or doing some weird shit, and they were like, Carlton. I would be like, I don't know, Andrew Jackson, because I was kind of listening, and it would be like, boom, like, oh, all right. Pay attention, but put your phone away, though. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. You don't have to fucking listen to 40 minutes to know this. It's like, you're telling us to read it. Like, what the fuck do I have to come here and answer the same questions for? You know, so I was always that kind of student, but I'm sure they were thinking, like, I don't know with this kid. Like, I'm sure they were like, he's not an asshole, but he just doesn't do his homework. Like, it was like some weird...
No, they probably thought you were an asshole.
That's why I say I wonder what they were... Now I wonder what they were, like,
You
thinking.
should call your guidance counselor and
I'll
ask
talk
her
to
what
her.
they...
I actually
thought
do
of you.
run into, like... I fucking live in this. I used to, not anymore. Like when I was in Manhasset all the time, I used to run into them, and
You should ask them, like, did you think I was an asshole? I feel like at this age,
no,
they have
that's.
to
I feel
tell
like
you.
now is when you go back and I'll be like, yo, you were an asshole. Like I'm like, nah, it is different. There's no teacher ever told me I wasn't gonna be shit, and I had high aspirations for my life. So I feel like it all just like, I feel like it just it would make sense. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, nothing really, but. But it all just somehow works. Like I don't know. I just I
I'm
run
just
my
doing what I
I,
wanted to
I
do
really
my whole
have
life.
my whole
Not shit.
Right, I just coordinate a lot of things on a laptop. Like you'd be very surprised what I could get off on a laptop in one day.
But it's hard to explain.
But it's very hard to explain. Like I have office hours. I'm always in the office, but it's just at home. Like it's very weird. I'm either upstairs, downstairs, or outside doing some weird shit. But it all fucking makes sense. But anywho, yeah, I enjoyed the. I'm sure we're missing out a major part of the fuck school. But well, I guess we're, and that could lead us to our next the next segment, white gang privilege. And Killer Mike started out mentioning that he, turning nothing into something, turn bad into something good. Killer Mike noticed that he was looking at the Hells Angels website, and the Hells Angels had T-shirts for sale, and he was like, "Now," I started to think, and it made me make sense, but like, I got to keep it a band in my head. Like I would never know. Like Hells Angels got motorcycles and shit, so they wear like cuts and sweaters and shit. Like, fine, but like I wouldn't know the Bloods for merch. You know, like I if they sold the bandanas, that would have been a little different. Like if I was like, they were like, oh, you see a red bandana, you know, like he copped it from your local Blood. Like it would have been like, but it was like, I guess where it got fucked up and lost in translation is like the drugs in the early '80s or whatever the fuck whatever it was. But Killer Mike wanted to change. He was like, well, if the Hells Angels is doing what they do, I want to do this for the black community. He went and got the Crips Cripocola and got the Bloods Blood Pop. And it was amazing to see. I was like, and when they went in to try to get a loan, and they were like, well, what do you do? And he said, now, I forget how he worded it, and I don't want to fuck it up, because you definitely should watch this as we're, after you're done, and you hit the subscribe button. But, I don't want to fuck it up, but when he went into the bank, it was like, so what do you do? And he was like, we're in, like buying and selling. And Killer Mike said now in California in the early 2000s, or like in the 90s. He would have
been ahead of the, ahead of the curve or something.
That's why I didn't want to fuck it. He would have been way ahead of the curve. And now.
A pioneer.
A pioneer. There you go. You're a genius.
Bitch, you guessed You was right.
That's terrible. Every time I hear it, it's perfect. But he would have been a pioneer in the weed game, and it's true. So it was also weird to see it in Georgia. Like they're like, you can't even say it. You better not even say it. Like, but if you're selling weed in Georgia now, you're a criminal. But
when it's legal a year from now,
and that's what's fucked up is when you walk. Now some guy walks in 2 years later with the same loan, and he's like, yeah, my parents gave me $500,000. He opens up a fucking some wild, some state-of-the-art dispensary. That's when it's like, that's what's fucked up about the game. So Killer Mike did a great thing, and I actually do want to cop some motherfucking Cripocola and Blood Pop and put it under. It's probably delicious, and put it under. We got cocaine under here right now. Are you kidding me? No word. You drink this shit, it'll kill you.
Apple juice is like the craziest shit I'm gonna drink. Some root beer. Like,
that's bad funny. Nah, Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola is terrible. Like Blood Pop Cola is made from all natural ingredients. So it definitely has the one up on Coca-Cola if you ask me. Because Coca-Cola is definitely trash. Good. But I'm gonna cop some Blood Pop and some.
We're not gonna drink it.
I'm definitely gonna drink it.
Okay, I'm gonna drink it.
It'll be like.
It'll be like nothing.
I like that I'm drinking water right now too. This is legendary because I was gonna say normally some trash red wine that somebody gifted. I'm like, yo, I gotta pour some Kool-Aid in this shit or something. Like I've had some wild shit in cups on this podcast on the low. So like fucking Blood Pop. No problem. Sounds delicious.
Maybe you can mix that in some of the trash.
True, it'll probably make it delicious. Yeah. But
sweet.
The whole point why I wanted to just move on to the gang privilege is cool. It was cool that building that entrepreneurial mindset. Like, yo, come up with something, whether it's a fucking t-shirt or like if you design pens and want to put little flowers at the tip and that's what you sell, somebody's gonna buy that shit. Like we're at the best time right now for everyone to and like the farming. I kind of feel like that. Like damn, we wouldn't be relying on Apple as much as we do in these big ass companies if you know someone with it. Like where we operate in our
right.
If you really think about it, we support a lot of small businesses.
Yeah.
Like
And
even we chill out with
that.
Amazon. Like I'd rather be like, oh, what is that? Whose hoodie is that?
Yeah, like yeah.
Oh, I wear one of your hoodies. I'll buy our own shit instead of
right. Like I don't. Yeah,
Right, so-
I definitely have been buying more like,
with-
and I don't even like Etsy and like
even with restaurants though. With restaurants,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
made me just be like, and connect the dots.
I'm like anti-corporation.
Because of like it's the personal.
Yeah.
You almost like to see someone who owns a restaurant. Like I would absolutely rather give you the $75 for the two of us.
First of all, I know what you're going through if you're not running a corporation, because a corporation, besides the fact they're in your ear about money, you know, like you have, it's a fluid system because they have so much money. Like it's like an out of this world amount of money.
Sure.
It's fucking hard when you don't have a system developed and enough money to like have too much money in for that
Sure.
type of business. You
Sure,
know
sure.
what I mean? Like the quality and it's basically for show at that point.
Right.
So then you can spike the prices up. But, like I know how hard it is, so I would definitely much rather give it to a small business. Absolutely.
Sure, 100%. So, yeah, I think if everybody operated, and again, I want to be clear because I do. I am one-sided. I'm very biased to it, but owning a business is not for everyone. Like,
no.
like I get if you want to be like third in command at because this shit is a lot of pressure. And why it's a joke? You're like, what do you do? Like nothing. But when it gets like fucked up, it's not fun staying up till 4 a.m. going through picking through fucking emails and QuickBooks and whatever one by one, and you know like just that shit is whack.
Working all hours.
It's whack, but that's why I'm like, well, fuck it. If you gotta do it, it might as well be for yourself. And just nobody likes paperwork. It's trash. But it's
or you know like. Every problem that
so
comes through the door, you got to deal with.
You got to do right, like, and every day it's something. So
every day,
and that's a part, and I embrace that putting a part of the game. So I 100% respect if you're like, oh, 5 o'clock. Well, it's been real.
Right.
This shit will get done tomorrow. I'm gonna see you. Like I 100%. That's why I want to be clear. I respect it. Like yo, if you like going home, if because I know when I used to work 7 to 3 at 2:57, I'm at the punch clock like. All right, like, listen, like, I'm sorry, it's been a rut, because I'm not that kind of worker, you know what I mean? I'm not that kind of, like, at someone else's business, like, within 8 hours, they're like, what kind of worker am I? No question. I was like a fucking a maniac. Like, I can get everything done.
Then,
exactly. Like,
and I'm, like, competing with myself and records and other people. And
I remember looking at my pedometer, like, wow.
Yeah.
I moved 4 miles today.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, wow, how far how many calories did I burn today on my little thing? Like,
that's crazy. Yeah. And then, with the same system, it was cool when I'm doing walks for you to come home for you and be like, I walked 11 miles. That's crazy.
I'm at 14.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's...
You're at 17 and I'm at 13.
Sure. And then,
I'm like, damn.
See, and then when I honed in on my skills, and I'd come home like, you're at 13. I would be like... Damn, I didn't move 700 feet. Like,
oh, yeah.
God damn, I've been sitting in the same spot all day. That's fucked up. Like, so, again, I respect not owning the business of everybody. I like when people just have something to offer. Like, if you knit hats and you're miserable at work, start knitting hats. Right, so I'm biased, but my lines are very clear.
Right.
Not like religion. Moving on to New Jesus. And I didn't... You know what? Can I get? We'll go to New Jesus after. Can we skip a chapter? Do you mind?
Go for it.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I guess.
I want to go to Outside the Box. I just want to get. It's ridiculous, but can I just get straight into the clip? Like, can I just play the clip and then explain later? That's why I said you might be triggered.
Oh God.
Yeah, like I was like,
Yeah, sure.
So trigger warning.
Black Lives Matter activists. It was kind of too bad the song.
Hold on. I gotta pull this up for the YouTube. I personally made this video too.
You did.
Well, I know Black Lives Matter activists.
It wasn't on YouTube.
It was kind of too bad the song had to end with white nigger.
Bro, go home.
I love it. I'm gonna play it again. I love this. This is genius.
I know Black Lives Matter.
I'm dead
It was
ass.
kind of too bad the song had to end with white nigger. What is he?
He's a crazy bitch.
Let's go straight to the jokes first. I love this. Louis C.K. was on to something.
No.
Yeah, no, he was on to something. I like old white men referring to themselves as niggas. Because if you really think about it, he was like, Louis C.K. was like, "Are you calling me a nigger?" And then this guy's like, "No way, you're gonna take down this white nigger." Like he's telling you. He's telling you he's exactly what he is. He's a nigga. Like I like the new niggas. I'm rolling. I swear. I know you're looking at me crazy right now, but I swear to God, I'm rolling. I'm fucking rolling. Like, oh, okay, a white boy. I want. You know why? Because I always said like, and that's why when we talked about it, I took accountability for me saying nigga in mixed company.
Right.
Like because I always be like, damn, you know, if I'm talking, and I'm like. I'm never like in a store wilding like in the mall or some crazy shit. But I would always think like if I heard someone in the mall or some crazy shit be like, or in a situation when it's uncalled for, and be like, yo, my nigga, like I would be like, oh shit. Like I would always think like, yo, I don't like the white people around. I would always wonder, be like I would always think like an old racist white man would be like, yeah, good, look at him.
Right.
Like that's how I always be like, nah, you can't. In certain situations, like, nah, you can't give the people what they want. So now I'm like,
I think it's just a harsh word for people that
no,
like,
100%. The fucking history. That's why I said I want to get to the jokes first, but I'm kind of serious about it because the fucking history it holds.
Yeah.
I think, and I know it's not gonna solve anything. What the fuck is the word? The word ain't done us no good.
Right.
For
right.
the beginning of the word, right? But I think if you let the fucking hourglass, whatever that glass is, if you turn it and go, all right, and it starts to trickle. I feel like let's try it and see where it goes. Like let's do it. Like if white, but and not like the Louis C.K. shit.
But
and
it'll take away.
Right, it sounds hypocritical.
It'll just be a word that people use.
It sounds hypocritical because with Louis C.K. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But and that's where I figured people would get triggered because I knew this was gonna happen. I guess we gotta explain it. Before I go off and tell you how much I love it. Killer Mike got. This was outside was this for the? I'm trying to think. This was
for the song.
Just the song.
Yeah.
Killer Mike bought different people, right? Because I feel we skipped it. Oh, we skipped New Jesus, so we are on Outside the Box.
Okay.
Because and you know what confused me? The fucking.
It's all confusing.
It's a trigger. Where's trigger warning? So the gay Spanish dude. Can I classify him as that?
Yeah.
Would he be offended? Right. The gay Spanish dude made it into the second episode. The episode after.
Right.
So it confused me a little to be like, wait, which group was that?
Yeah.
Right. So, Killer Mike bought a group, 9 group of people, 8 group of people.
All
8 group of people.
Like
a group of 8 people.
all different.
From different. It was
from,
one right.
Dramatically different backgrounds.
Like it was a Jewish lady, an albino black dude.
But the Jewish lady, what kind of what was she wearing? Like what?
I'm not. I will plead the fifth. For the first time in my life, I'm not going down that road. Definitely not. Nope, not
no, but
anyway.
They said she was something.
No, I know what you said. That's what I'm just mean. I mean, I don't want to guess. I know she. I'm gonna Google it. I'll Google it and tell you. Okay. But I'm not gonna guess.
I thought you knew. I didn't mean make up something. No. I'm not trying.
No. I know. But that's why I wanted to make my stance clear. Like I'm gonna stop here. But anyway, he brought together a group of people, and they. Damn, this is crazy that I can't find this. They had to write a song. So what all? Bottom line, everyone Killer Mike took them to Stank on Your Studio.
This one weird kid song.
Right, they took
changed it. The whole song, they changed it, like the melody and everything, but they kept like the words basically, and so everybody had a bar,
a verse.
Thank you.
So yeah, the dude's name is Mario Avani. That's crazy. He has like IMDb. This guy's. I tell you, the internet can like set people off. Like you can go from Catch Me Outside to.
Who is that?
But anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going down. So the people.
That's sad. That's real sad.
The people, like, you gotta, if you watch it, I'm not even gonna ruin it. If you watch it, you'll understand. You'll be like, oh damn, he got one of these, or you may, I don't know, whatever.
It's whatever, but that's
when they got together. Long story long, it was a white nationalist. His verse, he was a descendant of Robert E. Lee. His verse was exactly what you think it is from him calling himself a white nigga. And that's why I'm saying all that again to say, that's why I'm like, you know what? Do it. Because I'm giving up the N-word. Like, I know I said, and I think I've been okay.
You've been better.
Right. But sometimes it just, when niggas do nigga shit, it just happens. So that's why I'm rolling. I'm rolling. I swear I'm rolling. I know that sounds crazy. But you know what? See, that's why it's like...
But the time...
You know why? I called the white dude a nigga once and it fucked him up. Like, he was... I beat him to it because I knew... I swear it's like a third sense. You know when that shit is coming. I'm like, stop being a nigga. He was just like... What? What? So that's why I'm like, oh yeah, like, and I
flip it on.
Knowing his face, like I felt his energy when I hit him with it. He's like, but he could, you know what was fucked up? He was like, I'm like, bro, you really wildin', like you being outrageous. You're going crazy. You know the definition of nigga, right? Like that's what you're doing. Like, so if you was gonna say it to me, you'd be being ignorant, like you'd be being a bigot. But I'm like, nah, you wildin' right now. He just took the L. Like, it was a weird moment. So that's why I'm looking like, yeah, I'm liking this. Like, if you want to play that card, I'm rolling. And we'll get back to it. I'll put the I say that to say this stamp on it. But I'm dead ass.
I think that you're
If
right.
you right, one day I'll probably explain it better.
But that doesn't mean
no, I know because right, no. See,
like
right, one day I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
Right. Because,
I ain't saying that.
No, that's why. But you not. You not this guy. You're not him.
I'm not that type of person at all.
That's the whole point. That's why I know this shit could work. That's why I know it could work. Like, I'm dead.
Because the type of person that was on that shit.
Right, yeah, I'm dead. But anyway,
I'm rolling.
Next chapter. No pun is kill your master. No. Oh.
We gotta go.
Back to New Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. And that's why I wanted to. At first, I was like, the definition of sleep was putting me to sleep. Like, I felt like this episode was like a reach a little bit. Yeah, not a reach, but I was just like, I don't get where you're going here.
Yeah.
But I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and then it actually...
I didn't like it in the beginning, but at the end, then I was like, oh, I mean, like, not really, but it's not as, like...
Right, and
it's just weird in the beginning.
To be clear, I didn't get the connection, and I kind of forgot.
Right.
The fucking series was so good.
Keep my attention.
Right. The series was so good that I forgot that I don't want to call it a lull. I want to be respectful about it because it was amazingly. He put it together amazingly. Killer Mike did an amazing job. Yeah. So, but it was like a. It was that It was like it's a point in the movie. I'm fucking up right now. I'm doing terrible. But it's a. Like right before the climax,
you always forget.
I always forget that word. Why do I forget that word? It's fucked up. Because Drake has a song called Peak. Right, but I guess no, because I don't want to call it a peak. Like for some good shit, it just keeps going. Like you know what I'm getting at. It's on the screen. What I'm looking for. Anyway, I forgot that it's okay to have those points. Like it's okay in a
right.
Maybe. I guess. I always fuck it up. But anyway,
when we talk
my point is, towards the end of the Seeking Jesus, and it is a crazy thing that is one thing I think about. I realize watching like documentaries that answer my questions that I've had in my heart for a long time. That I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one who thought. Like I was like, wow. I thought for my whole life I would really. My grandmother, my dad's grandmother is so religious. And I would always think like, but see, my godmother always had a black Santa, and I was like, if it never was for her, if it never was for one specific woman in my life, I would have never seen really a black Santa. Like I'm not saying I never would have. I'm not saying I wouldn't have saw it, because I'm trying to like maybe it was one of my. I don't remember. I just don't remember one of my. I remember like distinctive like.
Right.
Oh shit! This is a black nativity set. Like this is a black like. Oh, I never really thought about that. Santa Claus was always a white man in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like now that's where when you be around like certain privilege and certain demographics, Santa was like Santa was a jolly fat white man in my head. He don't look like don't look like me. Like,
but why shouldn't he?
Then that's what I'm being clear. Like, I used to think about like a black Jesus. I'm like, oh yeah. Like now again, going on my friend's house in Manhattan, there was no black Jesus on the wall. Why'd there ever be a black Jesus on the wall? But then I sing up and you see Black Santa, and you're like, oh wait, is Jesus black? And I think that's what planted. No, I'm not gonna say it fucked me up with religion because I believe in God, but that's when I'm like, oh yeah, no, this ain't making sense.
No.
So it was always a weird thing to me to see dudes with like big ass white Jesuses on them, and I'm like tattoos is what made me like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, why white Jesus? Like, why is the like? So to see him that is when it started making sense. Like, because at first just with sleep, I was just like, what? And talking to Creflo Dollar, and Creflo Dollar was like, yo, you know, I talked about him on this podcast when his congregation needed a jet, and seeing like the 8,000 person mega church is like, this is wild to me. This is crazy. This is that machine that I hate.
Yeah.
Like that machine that I hate, and not with the church, but like corporate. This is corporate churching.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is,
exactly.
I hate like it. I'm like, I'm not rolling. I'm not saying pastors shouldn't make money, but I'm like, when I see pastors buying Lambos and shit, I'm like, nah, this is fucking it up.
It's wrong.
And that's what got me with religion when I see like, and I mean this respectfully, but like when I see my mom, like give her last 20 to like the church bin, like, and you see it like. Because she's in her heart, but she means well in her heart, listening, and I'm like, fuck, like, there's gas, you know, and I'm like, well, I hope this shit come back, and it make me feel like
anxious.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, and to see it like not work out, because I'm like, wait a minute, I remember this from last Sunday. That shit didn't come back.
Right.
You said it was gonna come back, and it didn't come back last Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So we took the bus here, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To see, that's what fucked me up with like the money in church. And I'm not saying all churches are like that, but yeah, right. But it just fucked me up.
Everyone I've been in has been like that. They put you on the spot about it. They have an open. They'll stop
church like hey, Brother McCrimmon, you forgot the collection. So, like, huh?
Will they do that?
Like, yo, they'll call, like, not to me. It never happened to me, but it, like
a black church thing?
Nah, I just calling them out. Like, yo, by the way, the collection plate is, it came around, so just make sure you get to that. Like, on some real, like, by the way. Like, and you be thinking, like, yo, what the fuck? Damn, what if he didn't have $20? Like, what if he just came here with $3 and a hope and a dream and a prayer? And so it was just
church.
But that's my whole point in, like,
I mean, I knew it was
the
bad,
mega
but
church,
goddamn,
and
no wonder
I get
that. You guilt people into giving you all their money.
Again, I get the church something gotta keep the lights on.
I totally get it. You shouldn't pressure.
But I mean, like the mega church, when it becomes like a thing, I don't know. Like I'm not for it. And again, to the same token, I'm saying all that to say I don't think that's why I'm like weird with Scientology, because it's like, wait, so you telling me a white man invented a religion in the 70s? Like, oh, he was on his shit. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, you can you do that? Yeah, right there, exactly. So I'm like, can you do that? I don't know if you could do that. But at this point, I'm like, listen, and
literally
get it.
Anything.
This is coming from King Bo Christ is my handle, but it gets greater later. I feel like shit. If it's all in us, it's a part of me too. Here, I'm rolling with it. Like your energy should be your own. I never have said like I'm a god. Like I've never said that. Right. But I feel like you're your own being. We don't know what's out there. You're your own being. Like you're an energy. You're a person. I don't know what's in the sky. I can't tell you what's in the sky. I can tell you I know everybody that's around me though. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe, I'm not saying, I just don't feel like you could create, like, God. Not, like, all right, this is what people, if you want to worship some other shit, fine. Like, if you want to worship, if you believe in, like, a Swami or whatever, and you believe, I can't blame you for believing. And that's why I feel it's tricky, and that's why I feel like you can't just invent a God, you can't start a new God, because people do need to believe in something. That's why I respect religion, and I don't go and ruin it for everybody and try to push the Bible on people. Like when people like want to talk about God, like, no, get away from me. What's wrong with that? Just yesterday, and that shit I don't think it's ever happened to me in Long Island. Like,
I was about to say, like, That shit used to happen in Florida.
And that's what I'm
People-
saying. Like in
like,
Florida, down
all
south, you
the
expect
time.
that shit.
Like,
I'm
it's
in the
so
source
annoying.
mall,
That's another
motherfucker.
thing I
Like,
don't miss about
do you want to talk
Florida.
about God?
Another thing I don't miss about the South is Jesus tracks that get given to you as
second to
tips
talk about
and
God,
shit,
like not really, bro. If you want me to keep it a band
No.
with you. He was so close to me. I like look. I was like,
I saw
what
you.
did
I
you
was
say?
like, what did he?
I looked at his like. I had to look at his hand. Like, what's that in your hand? What did you say? Like, what is that? I was like, oh, it's a Bible. I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, so I again,
weird.
because I feel like people need to believe in something. So if I was having a fucked up day, and I
Like
was
the guy that got. Did you even hear anything they were talking about?
what?
The guy that he got.
Oh, that he
and,
got.
Like, he was talking for.
To
10
keep
minutes.
it again, to keep it 100, I gotta. Yeah, I guess we are still recording. To keep it 100, I was like, yo, is he like, why he woke up to me? Like, I was
Right.
like, there's all these people in the mall. Like, then I saw the next guy, and I was like, he's talking to black dudes. I was like,
Yeah.
he's a serial killer. I
Yeah.
was like, he wants to kill black men, I swear. I was like, look, watch him. And I'm like, look at him. You're getting your pretzel? I'm like, I don't want to pretzel.
I didn't know that.
I was like, what the fuck is the chance of him walking up to the two of us in the fucking source mall? I was like, this shit ain't never happened to me.
I didn't know you thought he was a killer.
I thought he was
I just
like a-
thought
a-
he was
see,
like
nah,
a racist or something. And he's
No,
like,
I
he
didn't.
stood-
I didn't even think racist. That's why I was
don't
like,
know,
I was
just
like, that was like.
But that makes sense. I just was like, what are you telling me about two dead
No, I didn't-
guys in? Buccaneers?
I'm like, nah, I read some shit on the internet. I'm like, he might be trying to lure me into a van. Like, I was like, I'm 30. Like, look at this mustache. What, you gonna kidnap me? Like, that's crazy. What the fuck is going on
And
here?
I was just oblivious to what.
But my brain was really like, I don't know. It was so weird to me. But then I saw him like walk up to a white man. I was like, oh, okay, he's
he's
really recruiting for church.
Real quick.
Immediately, I saw him walk up to a white man. I was like,
problem?
oh, okay. I was like,
I mean, you
alright.
were talking to me about it, but it was like not. You were
Because
kind of
it probably sounded nuts.
Yeah, you did sound a little.
It sounded,
crazy.
but I was just like,
okay, he's just going off. Okay.
and that's why I knew. I was like, wait, are we still recording? Because this is I said that to say this moment. But I don't believe in coincidences. Like when he walking over to me out of so many people, and that's another thing. That's why I looked at his hand.
Yeah, like he's
I saw him beelining to me. Like when you fucking walk between people, like I saw him walk between like people, and I was like, and by like I saw it, and I was just like, and he was like, whatever he said to me, I was just looking like, what? Like why are you walking over to me? Like. So as soon as it happened, that's when I was like, that was very strange. Like you walk past mad people to ask me about God, and then I
didn't
look
see
back,
any of that,
and he's
so.
with the only other fucking. It was just a.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, he
like a
he
weird
stops, and I was like, oh, he stopped the only other black dude in the mall. I was like, what the fuck is the chances of that? Like, and it wasn't even on no like. I think he's a
just
racist.
weird,
I think
yeah.
it was. I was like,
just
that's why I was like,
I did not
what the
racist
fuck?
necessarily. I was just like that he's targeting black men. Like I was.
That I- it was
that's
a
why I
real,
wasn't
like,
following you. And
nah,
I
it
was
was
like,
some
what are you
weird
talking
shit.
about? Like, what are
But
you
then,
talking
but I swear, then as soon as I saw him talk to a white man, I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I didn't
Well,
think about it again
fine.
until like I was like,
I'm in the bathroom. I was like,
but yeah, I don't know. I think we got here with Jesus somehow, but
we did. His new religion. Like I mean, apparently people liked his new religion. There were people like
because people need to believe.
yeah, you're right.
People really need to believe in something.
Because if they don't, then they feel like hopeless.
And that's why at the end, I came around. Not came around, but at the
It
end
just
I was like,
explains
oh.
it more after.
I was like, okay, I get it. But it started off like, I was like, yeah, get him. Like, I guess it just didn't go my way. Like, when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna fucking... And I'm like, wait, started a new religion. Like, what about the ones that's fucking shit up now?
Right.
Like, yeah, that's where my brain was. That's why I guess it kind of lost me. So,
I just didn't know where he was going.
the Kill Your Master, New Africa portion. That was another one I didn't really get, but I got it. Like... Because I had mad questions, like, wait, is it still around? Like, we're just going to end
Right.
off like this? And
Yeah,
when he
it
said he
was-
rigged the election, I was like, all right. Like, I was like,
They're
wait,
gonna
is this
know
going to,
that.
like, can I go there? Can we visit there? Like,
Right.
I think I want to go there. Like,
True.
Like,
Did you Google it?
No, of course not.
Killer Mike's.
But it will be, New Africa. I guess I could just Google. Yeah, see, this is what I knew. I knew this shit was gonna happen. I hate going down a fucking.
Yeah. We have to look at this later.
No, because I do wanna do my due diligence.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But that's why I was just like,
It's
wait, I
still
feel like I
open.
didn't
They
get
left
enough.
it
I feel
out.
like I
It's
just
not our
didn't get
fault.
enough.
Now we got to do.
That's
research
why I
on that.
didn't. No, that's why I didn't want to. Right, I didn't want to shit on it. Like I was just like, okay, I just got a lot more questions. But I think I don't necessarily. And I said it. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, but I wouldn't necessarily want to be a new. I wouldn't want to be like living on a reservation. I was like, this seems like a lot of paperwork. I'm not with that. But I that is one of my. And it's a weird dilemma because I won't say my dream, but we often talk about it. Like just land.
Yeah.
Like
Having
1,000
our own
acres is crazy. Like, and I was saying, like, imagine you see someone out in the distance, like, with binoculars, and like, is that a person? What the fuck are they doing here? I think that has to be like one of the best feelings ever. Like, I will not run into a soul, and if the dogs bark, we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
there's someone outside. I hadn't seen the mailman in 4 years.
Yeah,
like, I love that feeling, but I don't. So that's why it was cool. But as far as like my own like living. Oh, like even the apocalypse. That's why I know I'm not that nuts, because I don't want to retire to some post-apocalyptic community center like that.
We'll just have our own like bunker in the middle of 1,000 acres.
Like I think that's what gets me. That's why I say I'm not that crazy. Like the bunker thing. Like
We need to
everything
have
underground.
We need not. I don't want to live in a bunker.
Yeah,
I
I
want
was
to
just
have
like,
a bunker option.
Like I like glass. Like I like the like.
if shit goes down, I want something that's going to be safe.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to live in it. It can be like a fucking storm shelter. You know what I mean?
Got
like
you. I'm
that
rolling.
kind of thing.
I'm rolling.
Or we can just build our house.
I'm rolling. So that's amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think Killer Mike, he did an amazing job. I'd like to see another 6 parts.
Me too.
Like I like to see him. I don't know. I would like.
I like the where he's going. I think he's a little rough around the edges. Like, but it's him, you know.
I feel right.
I feel like once he evolves as a person and like actually gets more close to all his amazing ideas, then I think he's gonna be able to present it better. You know, like when he did the old folks home.
Oh no! And I gotta say, like at first I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, but
like,
he
but I liked it.
He connected it with something that they're familiar with the fucking, what do they call those people?
Fucking quartet, whatever that is.
Like,
I think podcast.
Yeah,
facts.
like
Fucking.
whatever, singing quartet. But he like related it to them so that they. So he's.
But I like that he. At first I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
When he started rapping, but then I was like, yeah, fuck it, do you? I do.
He did what he could.
But I like that he does. I like that he does things his way.
Right.
You know, like I like that he came in like not trying to be someone other than himself. Like just the problem is we don't accept people for who they are. Like fuck it. So I did. I was fucking with that. I definitely. So when I say I want to see more, I don't want to put the pressure on him like he didn't do enough. But I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck it.
Let's keep going.
Let's make this a regular thing. If you're gonna, if you really wanna,
keep going.
I saw a lot of shit myself, and I'm like, damn, I would have never thought to Google that.
Right.
That's fucked up. The information's out there, and if you want to do the right thing or you want to do whatever you want to do, you're gonna do it. So I'll give Killer Mike, you did a fucking great job. We gotta get a drop, but we gotta get a great job drop. I got one. It's coming. All right, beautiful people.
Well,
I gotta say, I know where you're going with the Covington Catholic High School.
No.
Oh no.
But are we gonna? So when are we watching the Hulu so that we can talk about?
Oh, so I could talk about. If you're interested in our next episode, we never give teasers, but episode 83, our next episode of the podcast. We're going to tell you about a guy who was willing to suck dick to save the team. That's a
business team.
The business, save the fire festival.
But he was gay.
And that's why I thought it was fucked up. You know that? That's why I was like,
we're not going to get into that.
No, I think I want to get my shit off.
It's fucked up, but it's like, it's not like when you think like a straight guy willing to suck dick.
Nah.
Is like...
Now, see, that's why it was fucked up. And I know maybe we should wait because this may be a long-winded... This probably sounds crazy. This sounds... But, like...
But it's crazy.
If he asked
I just
woman,
want... You have to have the whole... You have to have the picture in your... If you just think it's a straight guy, it makes the story different.
But see, that's why I thought it was... I know, but that's why I thought it was fucked up. Because if he said to a gay dude... You can't. Bottom line, what I mean is, don't ask
can't.
nobody to do no
Nobody.
shit you wouldn't do.
You
Like, no, 'cause
no.
if
Don't
you
ask
ask the
nobody
girl-
to suck nobody else's
Right,
dick.
because if you
that's
suck,
the rule.
if you're willing to suck dick to keep something going, I think that's so
you
nuts
got
to
an
me.
issue.
Like,
you got 17 issues.
yeah, like
On
what-
top.
Like, yeah, right. So yeah, okay. We'll save it. We'll save it. You're right. And I want to save the talk about the Catholic high school.
Okay.
There's a joke there, but I'm not gonna do it. I think I'm above it. I'm above it.
No, you just literally above it. So
No idea.
that's
You have
exactly
no
right.
idea. But yeah, we'll get into the Catholic high school after. I love you all. Have a day you deserve.
See you next
If
time.
you're gonna believe in anybody, believe in yourself.
That's a very good, nice little tidbit
Nice
to
little-
leave people with.
I mean
Little gem.
it. I mean it. Thank you for being here. I mean that as well.
Anytime.
From the real Mrs. McCrimmon and myself, King Bo Christ, have a day you deserve, and we are out of here. This podcast is adjourned.
I love that gavel.
I should kick this shit over. Wait.